Welcome, everyone. It's Emilio Roman, your host of the Spiritual Fitness Sunrise Show, coming at you live from the Atlantic City Boardwalk and Casino. And Happy New Year for many of you. We're still in that season. 2021 is here, and you're still here, right? You didn't fall apart. You didn't break. You're still here, right? We may be a little off-centered, but this is what we're here to talk about today. We have two world-renowned gentlemen. One of them I personally know. He's from Canada. Can't wait to introduce you to Dr. George Grant, and he's accompanied by another world-renowned gentleman, Dr. Rahman. And this is going to be a super, super cool show. You know, it's relaxed atmosphere. You ask questions, you get some feedback. And Umara, she's having a little bit of a challenge today, so you have me until she comes on, if she does. But I really, really want to honor our guest, and I know you're going to get great value from this. Let me tell you a little bit about Dr. George Grant. Not only is he a doctor, he's also known as the caring doctor. And he happens to also be in, let me show you this, because he's got one of these too. He's also in the Guinness Book of World Records for being one of the most authors signing a book simultaneously. Yes, Dr. George Grant has one of these prominently displayed in his office. So imagine that. He's got one of the most PhDs I've ever seen of anyone. We've shared the stage together in Canada at something called an event called the Magnetic Entrepreneur, run by Robert J. Moore. And he's just really someone who's not only has the education behind him and the credentials, but he really does have a caring heart. And that's why he's known as the caring doctor. So I'm really, really excited to introduce him to you. He's also helped my wife. So I have a real personal story before I bring him on. My wife, when we were at an event, and my wife had this headache, and Dr. Grant, I don't remember if I asked him or whatever it was, but he came right away. Talk about caring. He came right over, did some work on her neck, and immediately increased Daniela's ROM, the range of motion, and she felt better because she's challenged with migraine. So just to give you some real insight on who this gentleman is, and I just love him. My tribe loves him. And hey, let's bring him on. Oops, let's see here. Hey, welcome.
Good morning, Emilio, my dear co-author. Good morning.
God bless you, Dr. Grant.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you. It's a brand new year, right? New year.
Yes.
And I know a lot of us have, challenges, struggles. We're bringing in some of the stuff that we should have left in 2020. What is it, Dr. Grant, that you specialize in?
I specialize in helping people to live till 101 years and beyond, healthy and without any medications, without any operations, without any radiations. That's my specialty. However, my mom, in her early 40s, 42, she passed away. Unfortunately, I was 18 years young from heart disease and diabetes, and she died on the bypass, from the bypass surgery. My father did the same thing in his late 50s. And here I am today, January 2021, at age 70. And I do not have any medications. I do not have any health challenge, touch wood. And so this is where I actually had that desire to help teenagers not to be orphaned at age 18 and to miss Mother's Days and Father's Days because I have no mom and no dad. And I've never seen my grandparents, Emilio. So that drive me to find out about how do we prevent disease. What is prevention? We do not need intervention. We have to focus on prevention. We have to focus on our diet and lifestyle. We have to focus on what we eat, what we don't eat, and what's eating us for stress. In fact, thanks for telling the viewers that I had multiple doctors. I only have 3. Thanks very much. So my first doctorate was on a stress management, 1995, University of Toronto, where I study what is the stress and how does it affect our health. I'm sure you know this as my co-author in the World Guinness Book of Record, that stress causes 85 to 88% of all diseases, including high blood pressure, diabetes, sleep problem, headaches, and it's all about managing the stress. We cannot escape stress. In fact, Dr. Hansen, he's one of the stress guru in the world. He said, the absence of stress is death. So only when we die, we have 0 stress. So then we have to learn how to live through 2020. And I believe, Emilio and Daniela, that 2021 is going to be a better year for all of us. Not that we're not going to have stress, but we have to cope. We have to deal with the stress. We have to keep our lifestyle healthy. So I do specialize in lifestyle medicine, integrative medicine, functional medicine. I specialize in prevention because I believe prevention is better than intervention. I believe that self-care is better than crisis care. And if we all have in 2021 a healthy immune system, nothing to fear. The worst 4-letter word in the English dictionary starts with F. The dirtiest word is fear, F-E-A-R.
Right.
Because when we have fear, from whatever reason, we're going to cause stress. We're going to have stress. So I tell my clients since January of 2020, turn the media off. No TV, no radio. Don't listen to bad news because that creates fear. And fear suppresses immune system. And once you have fear, you're going to have stress. You have suppressed immune system. Then you're vulnerable to anything out there, whether it's virus, whether it's a pandemic or whatever it is. So this is really the key here. I think I like to call it like my friend and your friend, Austin Haynes, told me in his interview with me a couple of days ago, let's make it all year resolution. And
yes,
if Austin is listening to us, thank you for sharing this with us, because it's not one like New Year resolution to stick for 1 day or 1 week, and then after this we'll go back to the old habits. It's all year resolution until December 31st, 2021. So I highly recommend Daniela and Emilio for your viewers to go to Wellness IQ at the academyofwellness.com.
Okay.
Because on the Wellness IQ, there are 10 questions. I know you're very healthy. I know you're very fit. I know you're going to score very high. And I know Daniela she's very healthy. She walk in health and she live in health. Look at her face. I mean, she radiates and vibrates energy and health. So I know both of you will score very high. But here's the facts, Daniela and Emilio. For my 10,000 clients in Canada and 10,000 clients overseas in the US and Europe and the Caribbean, the score is 55% or less. 55%, which means they do not drink the water. They do not do the belly breathing. They do not eat the proper food. Like, seriously, I had a client, Daniela and Emilio, they scored 15%. I looked at their score. I said, 15%? Like 15%, that they're almost like Walking Dead.
Right.
Like, well, 50% is just like you're kind of taking medications and you're trying to cope with blood pressure and diabetes. And okay, so I invited on this call, actually, one of the top kidney specialists, he's nephrologist.
Yes.
Not only in Canada, but he's also in England. I hope Dr. Raman Gokal will be able to join us. I sent him the link.
Yes.
And he's with us here.
I want to say, I saw him earlier. Yes. Would you like me to bring him on right now?
Yes, please bring him on right now, because
wonderful.
Bring him on, because you have two more better than one.
All right, well,
he is. Dr. Emilio, good morning to you.
Namaste. Good morning.
Namaste to you, and namaste, Dr. Raman.
I'm sure you can hear me. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. George and Emilio and Danielle, for having me on your show.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
And of course, what Dr. George has been saying, and of course you too as well, I fully am in alignment with all that. And whilst I may qualify, do you want me to say a bit about myself? Or?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, I was born in Africa, into the Hindu Vedic tradition. So I come from a background of that philosophy. But then I went to Oxford University from Africa under a Rhodes Scholarship, studied medicine there, and then stayed on in the UK and became a nephrologist. And so I've been dealing with really seriously ill patients all my life, on dialysis, transplantation, and all these aspects. And, you know, when you're dealing with seriously ill patients, this is life and death matter, you soon realize how fragile life can be. And there are things that one needs to do, undertake, to bring solidity into your life.
Amen.
And those are the things that Dr. George has been talking about, and you are also familiar with. And in my medical career, and I've retired now for 15 years or so, come to Canada, met my beautiful wife, and I retired, left UK, and since then it's been a life of finding one's own self.
Yes.
And I think the question here is, yes, we have to be cognizant that we live in a state of fear. We live in a state of lack. And we wanting and chasing the outer world for more and more.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down.
And the less we get, the more we want. And the secret is that you've got it all. You have it all. You are endowed with this. You know, the Creator created this beautiful human body. Do you not think that He would have also created means by which you can heal yourself at both physical, mental, emotional, spiritual levels? Of course you can. And so that's the philosophy. And when I go back, and now I don't practice because the laws in Canada are a bit stupid. Even though, you know, I've trained and taught at the universities here in Toronto, they don't want me to be registered and all the rest of it. But it doesn't matter because the message still goes out. You can still do your bit and pieces. But the Vedic philosophy, in a nutshell, says what we need to survive. So we need air, breathing, water, drinking, and food. That's your energy level.
Amen.
That's your intake. But at the same time, you need to be able to detox, remove impurities. That's very important. Now, in order for yourself at all levels to be pure, Pure, what you need is that you need to have the 4 paths of detoxification. And the 4 paths are perspiration through your skin, urination through your and that's my specialty, urination.
You know what, doctor? If you don't mind for 1 second, we're going to do 2 things. I would like you to get more centered so we can see your face. There you go. All right. Your message
Okay, there we are.
Your message is so beautiful. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let's go ahead, and we always have an exchange, okay? So let's honor some questions.
Well, wait, let him finish the Pure. Because I'm writing it.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, good. So Daniela wants, just go ahead and read some of the stuff first.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Thank you.
All right, so we want to welcome Ivy Perez,
yes.
Jennifer Nicole, Nancy Ruiz. Let's see.
And I saw self-care. Just read some of them, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to read some of these because we want to make sure because this is such a treat today. We were having Dr. Grant, and now we got 2 for 1. And we typically have Umara, but she had a little challenge. But this is great.
Nothing comes
Just read something.
Yeah, Ivy's saying fear is awful and is incredibly detrimental to our health and our growth. That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. Life is fragile. Wish more people understood this. Let's see. Jennifer Nicole is saying, I love Dr. George Grant's spunkiness and Dr. Raymond's groundedness as they speak.
Amen. There you go. There you go.
Yep. Lionel's saying good morning. Nancy's asking, please elaborate on plant-based eating and a positive mindset for a healthier life.
All right. Awesome. So thank you, gentlemen. Sorry we cut you off, but I want to make sure we honor you. And if anyone has any questions, this is the time to do it.
Yeah, that was her question. Yeah.
So do you want me to carry on?
Please. Thank you.
All right. So I was at the P, the U, urination. R is respiration.
All right.
And E is your elimination, fecal. So you have to have these 2 systems in balance. If you are out of sync, you're in trouble. So people think we have to eat and drink. Yeah, very good. But at the same time, you have to eliminate as well. The other aspect that yoga and Vedic and Ayurveda professes is that you also have to have adequate sleep, good, healthy sex, and,
hey, I'm with you. Can you repeat that last one?
Exercise, movement, very important. And at the same time, you have to deal with your emotional, mental state and your spirit. These characters are laughing. I don't know.
I'm still stuck on the sex part. I like what the doctor's recommending. I love them already.
So the mental aspect is where how you are controlling your inner self.
Okay.
Through practices like proper breathing, it's called pranayama, meditation, and a lifestyle that reduces your sympathetic overdrive. You know, the autonomic nervous system is a sympathetic arm and a parasympathetic arm. And I remember as a medical student, we could never remember. We had these acronyms, you know, about what is the So it says parasympathetic permits peeing. So if you want to pee, you got to have parasympathetic. But the sympathetic stops SHIT. So if you are stressed out and your sympathetic system is out, you are bunged up. And the Vedic side, Ayurveda says, if you are constipated, so is your mind.
Wow.
There is a direct link. We have neurohumoral links between the gut and the brain.
Yeah.
Right.
Very, very powerful link. So that's why the ancient teachers, rishis and seers in ancient India from Himalayas used to say, if your mind is bunged up, look at your gut.
Yes.
And the gut is such an important element. Now, I'm a kidney specialist, but I'm saying the gut is the most important facet of your physical activity, where food matters, your microbiome matters,
Right.
your brain. That's the second brain.
Yeah. Do you mind, Doc? I was going to ask you, Doc. I'm so grateful. So I've heard it said that life or death begins in the gut. Is
Yes.
that?
Yes, that is very true.
Okay.
You know, your entire immune system is microbiome based. Not entire, but very much so. And so and I just wanted to shift quickly to another important aspect, and that relates to the heart. Now, you may think a kidney specialist talking about the gut and the heart, but the heart is what is all relevant and important.
Mm-hmm.
You are an electromagnetic force.
Mm-hmm.
You are energy. You are vibrations, and the frequencies with which you operate is how you function in totality. And the heart is the largest magnetic organ in the body, 5,000 times more powerful than the brain. The brain is predominantly electrical.
The heart.
So,
Did you repeat that again, Doc? I'm sorry. The heart is the largest magnetic organ in the brain?
yeah, no, in the body.
In the body. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Somebody
yeah.
write that down.
And it's 5,000 times more powerful than the brain.
5,000 times.
There are 40,000 neurons in the heart that connect to the brain. There are 10 times more messages going from the heart to the brain. So what is it? You are your heart. Your heart is where your emotions of and your higher frequency based emotions are based there. That's love, joy, enjoyment, gratitude, compassion. Those are the aspects that come from the heart.
Wow, it's very powerful.
And you have to get that balance right, so that if your heart and your brain are in what we call in balance, in coherence, then your whole bodily system is in balance.
Right. Thank you.
If you are not in coherence between the heart and the brain,
right,
then you're out of sync and you're in real shit.
Yeah. and Dr. Rahman, thank you so much, which I believe leads into Dr. Grant, where Dr. Grant, you were talking about stress, and you were saying, I want to say you said it was 85%. You mentioned a statistic earlier. So I can see where stress, especially if the heart and the mind are out of balance, out of whack, I can see where illness and everything else creeps in. Can you speak about that, Dr. Grant? Speak more about.
Sure. That's why we say Dr. Rahman has a big heart, because he is truly has a big heart to share, his knowledge and his wisdom over the years. Yes, stress causes 85% of all diseases. No scientist and no doctor will argue with that. The problem is when we have a stress and then we develop blood pressure, some physician, not Dr. Rahman, they put somebody on medications for hypertension for life until the last breath. I have somebody at Sunnybrook Hospital. By the way, I just want to make sure, because I did work for Health Canada and the FDA and the CDC. My information today, nothing to do with Health Canada, the FDA, or the CDC. No medical claim is implied. This is not to diagnose, to treat any disease. I am here to talk about prevention, not intervention. I'm a scientist. And nothing here to be implied as medical diagnosis. Dr. Rahman can say that because he's a physician. I'm not. Okay. So I had a client referred to me by one of the top doctors at Sunnybrook Hospital, the largest hospital in Canada, who had 99% clogged arteries. He was taking 28 prescription medications. 28. And he was 79. He did 2 bypass surgery in his arteries, and then he in the aorta, and he done 2 stents. They put an artificial stent in his artery because he's able to survive this way. But they still have tachycardia, still have arrhythmia, he's still taking the 28 meds, and he still have some problem with the heart. I mean, if you just heard what Dr. Rahman was saying, the answer is not 28 medications. The answer is not bypass. The answer is not stent. That was 1998. I helped him through his lifestyle, through integrative approach, to cut back on his dependency on the 28 meds.
Yes.
He was sent to hospice to die in 1998. I'm happy to tell you today he's still alive. 20 years later, he's over 100, and no medications, no bypass, and there's no stent, and he's living healthy. He walks, and he drinks the water. He does the proper eating habits, lifestyle. He followed my PMS model, the physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. He followed everything that Dr. Rahman was talking about. And he told me, Professor Dr. Grant, you have saved my life. That word to me remind me when I was 18 years young. I wish I knew at age 18 what I know today, or I wish I know what Dr. Rahman knows, because I could have saved my mother and my father and my grandparents. But Dr. Rahman actually told you now. He's a nephrologist. Actually, he's a very humble man. He's rated as #1 nephrologist in the UK, and he's very. This guy, I mean, he's like walking encyclopedia. I mean, once you get him to talk, he will never stop because just like it's flowing. Okay. I actually invited him to come to speak in one of our events in Toronto, and then I give him only 10 minutes. He spoke for 25 minutes, but people want him to talk. They don't want to listen to me anymore. They want him to talk.
That's great. That's great. I love the dynamic.
I'm so happy Dr. Rahman, he joined us today. I'm so happy for
George,
and my dear friends, to make this available to people, because 2021 is going to be the best year for our PMS, physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. That's total wellness. That is total wellness. We're going to cope with the stress. We're going to cope whatever we're going on through right now. And we're going to overcome everything we're going through right now. And then we will be following the ABC, the attitude of gratitude, the belief, the commitment to wellness.
Sure.
By the way, just let you know that Dr. Rahman is the one that introduced me to this wonderful AO, technology. He is the one that actually introduced me to this. And I've been using it now for the past 3 months or so, 3.5 months.
Yeah, sure.
Hundreds of people. In fact, Austin Haynes and I did a whole video on it. If you wanna go to Austin video, it's in my Facebook.
Okay.
And you can see it. And he was so surprised how I can tell by the way, Austin, he is very healthy man. He scored over, if I may share that, with his permission, I think 77%. I told you the average client scored 55%. Like you guys, you're gonna score over 80%. Dr. Rahman, of course, is gonna score over 85, 88% because he walks wellness and he walks health, and he does follow all of the stuff. Not like the other physician who put medication pill for every ill, because we care, we serve, we educate. We do not medicate, we do not operate, we do not irradiate, we do not use any of this stuff.
Thank you. We have some questions, so this is awesome, and then we'll bring you on, Dr. Rahman. So let's get some feedback here.
Okay, so Ivy's saying, talk about can you say that word?
Yeah. Adaptogens.
Adaptogens, please, and the power and importance of incorporating these amazing natural herbs into our lifestyle.
So before you do that, let's read some more so we can go ahead. We're not going to just do the one.
Yeah, Nancy, agree. Gut health is so important. Austin's on here. There's a quote, I have a gut feeling, which is very real. Yes, let's see, Austin. The heart is more perceptive than the brain. Simone Rowe, my God, I'm so happy I'm here this morning. This is powerful and inspirational and educational.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, Nancy Ruiz, can any digestive system or autoimmune disease be reversed? For example, thyroid, Crohn's disease, etc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for reading. Thank you for reading that. Yes. So
everything can be reversed.
Yes.
Nothing is irreversible.
Yes.
Wow.
If you focus on it and let go of all the impediments you impose on yourself, emotionally, mentally, then everything will go. But you have to go deep inside. Don't rush to outside for your fulfillment. And it's so important. I have a formula, 5 M's. Very important what these 5 M's are.
Somebody write them down.
Right, you write them down. The first M is meditation. How to quieten your mind down. Very important. That reduces your stress.
Yes.
Improves your parasympathetic drive.
Yes.
Lowers your sympathetic. So important. So even if you just spend 1 minute, there is a very specific 1 minute meditation where you can, it's combined with breathing. So meditation and breathing go hand in hand, right? So that's the first M. The second M is movement. You have to move. You cannot be a couch potato and sit there as most people do now.
Yes.
You move, breathe.
Put down, please, like
So movement and breathing is very important, and that one could lecture on breathing and pranayam for a whole week, and we will not cover it all. But breathing is so important with movement. And then laughter, mirth, M-Y-R-R-T-H, mirth. Mirth is laughter. You know, Dr. George always laughs. I'm also always laughing. And you too, Emilio and
thank you.
Thank you.
Daniela are laughing all the time. Laughter is the best medicine.
Yes.
You know, there was a joke. They said the administrators in the healthcare system where I grew up in said, if laughter is the best medicine, should we not be controlling it?
I get it. I get it.
You get it now, you see?
Yeah, they want to control
The other thing is music.
Oh yeah.
Music, not the rock band, horrible type, but music aligns your bodily energies to a much higher level. So you listen to good music, spiritual music, you sing as well. You know, I'm a great, and you know, linked with music and recitation are these Vedic mantras. And the most basic one is like Om. It's a primordial sound.
I like it.
So you're spreading through music and sound. And then the final M is massage.
Oh yeah.
I'm liking
Your
that.
body needs massage. Your mind needs massage. So external massage with beautiful essential oils or things enliven your skin. Skin is the largest external organ. And all these things are intertwined. They work hand in hand. And if you have all those in, then your body will be in sync.
Yes.
You will not go crazy and not have fear of COVID and not have fear of this and that. Fear, like what Dr. George says, is the most detrimental, deleterious emotion. And when you're talking about frequencies, that's the way at which your energy vibrates. They are high energy frequencies, very high. Love, joy, gratitude, compassion, kindness, giving. If you don't give, you don't receive.
Yeah.
That's the fundamental law.
Yes.
So, but the lower emotions, the very low emotions, are like lust. Lust is the worst thing. Greed, anger, rage. They vibrate at a very low frequency. Now, can you imagine that if you have rage and anger and fear dictating and controlling your whole life, what are you going to be doing? You cannot reach the higher levels.
Doctor, if you don't mind me jumping in for a second, that is one of my biggest challenges. And anybody who knows me, I never say that I'm an angry person, but I am challenged, and I'm wondering what do you recommend? Is it like more of is it more massage? Is it more sex? Like what is it?
That's not one of the M's.
Oh, that's not one of the M's.
It's more of everything.
Okay.
Good. you have to balance everything that is good that you need. Okay? So you need to have a balance in life. You cannot just sit there for 24 hours and meditate.
Right.
You have to live. You have to be in communication. And that is what this social distancing is such a nonsense.
Yes.
Community, being together, caring for each other is a fundamental part of existence. You cannot have social distancing and hope that people, and then wear masks and hope that you will be well. It's just impossible.
Makes
You're
sense.
killing yourselves. There are scientific papers that say that wearing a mask for 3 months will lead to deaths because your immune system goes down, your oxygen levels go down with a mask, you get hypercapnic, which means your CO2 levels go up.
Wow.
And what does that lead? Immediately you become more acidotic. Now, Dr. George has written and spoken so much on acidosis.
Yes.
Your whole body has to be slightly alkaline.
Yes.
And if it is acidotic because you wear a mask, you're in trouble straight away. Your immune system goes down, you develop more cancer, you develop more everything. So this whole concept of living well is looking at yourself. And when I say looking at yourself, this particular posture of namaste,
Yes.
you put your hands on your heart. And the moment you put your hands on your heart, you are saying to your heart and your body through your heart, I am safe.
I am safe.
I am okay.
I am okay.
And then you breathe in through your heart and breathe out through your heart. Breathe in and breathe out. You do that 4, 5 times, 6 times, and immediately you find that you are in a more relaxed state. It calms down.
Thank you for
And that is the beauty of just 10 seconds of breathing in and breathing out through your heart. The heart says, somebody is really looking at me, caring for me. And it then sends out its neurotransmitters.
Yes.
It sends out its oxytocin, joy. And that's what life's all about.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
Dr. Grant or Dr. Rahman. Okay, so my father, right? He's always been an active guy his whole life, drinks water, eats healthy. And then about probably 20 years now, he was diagnosed with high blood pressure. So, of course, right away, he's on the blood pressure medicine, been on it ever since. Then now, back in March, he had a heart attack. Now he's on heart medicine. He has Parkinson's. Of course, he's on Parkinson's medicine. And all I see is declining. His balance, his speech, everything is just going down. And he can hardly, walk now without, he's falling all the time. And now you were saying like anything is reversible. But at the same time, I have to say my dad, like he's always been that guy that worries and stress and, he lets that get to him. So he's more in that mindset now, like, okay, this is it. And, he'll tell you, he's on so many pills a day and, he's 80, he just turned 80. But for a guy that's been healthy, I'd say up until, the last, until all this hit in the last 5-6 years, is that, we tell him you're just on too much medication, plus anxiety, depression medicine, he has a low dosage of that. So what do you suggest? I mean, for someone who's already, kind of, I don't even want to say giving up, but kind of just set now, like this is it.
Okay. Can I just answer this one? Because I have dealt with 10,000 clients here in Canada and 10,000 overseas with the same questions, Daniela, you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
The first step is not to stop any medications. Please, we're not advocating to stop any medication this webinar. The thing is, ask him to do the wellness IQ. 10 questions. It's very simple. And then ask him to email me the results. At no cost to him, he have an access to me and the top nephrologist, Dr. Raman Gokul. I'm going to go spend 30 minutes with him using the most advanced, biofeedback technology called the AO. And then we're going to find the root cause of his situation. There is no pill for every ill. There is no masking symptoms. We need to get to the real cause, the root cause, because if he has hypertension and his blood pressure is about 125 or 85, then we can help him to wean himself with his own physician gradually. Because if it's under 125 over 85, there is no need for medication. But we don't ask anybody to stop meds. But we can gradually reduce that medication, which will help him if he's taking diuretics, like things like ethacrylic acid or hydrochlorothiazide. He has to watch his potassium. Ivy was asking about a plant-based diet, which I do recommend, and for people like that. And Ivy was talking about systems. By the way, just to make this crystal clear, Dr. Raman and I follow integrative medicine principles. We do not focus on systems because systems is the allopathic model. We focus on cells first. If you have a healthy cells, you make a healthy tissues. If you have healthy tissues, you make healthy organs. If you have healthy organs, you make a healthy system. It's a bottom up, not the top down. That's how we build houses. Put foundation first. Have you ever seen somebody putting a roof first and put the walls and then put but how come our medical healthcare system, the allopathic healthcare system, we have a pill for every ill? If you have high blood pressure, Diovan, take Altase, take Norvasc, hydrochlorothiazide. If it doesn't work, then we have to go for beta blocker. And if one beta blocker did not work, let's go for 2 or 3. I had somebody from Ohio. He's been taking 6 medication for blood pressure. And then his doctor did not remind him to eat banana or take potassium. He ended up with heart failure 5 years ago. And doctor said, no problem, we'll put you on digoxin, digitoxin, and all of the stuff, and then we'll put you on steroids to prevent. I said, you have been taking all of those medication and end up with heart failure. Are you waiting for the second one? He said, what do I do? I said, you got to have plant-based diet. Go through intermittent fasting, lose some weight. He was overweight. By the way, Daniela and Emilio, I helped Robert J. Moore to lose over 100 pounds in 6 months.
Wow, he did say that. He referenced you.
In February, he was 420, and now he's anyway. So I help the guy naturally. That's what Dr. Raman and I do. Is we help people through simple principle: healthy cells, healthy tissues, healthy organ, healthy system. He is off all medications now within 4 months. In 4 months, I'm not promising your dad, Daniela, will be off the medication in 4 months. It may take 6 months, it may take 1 year, but he's gonna be in the route to recovery. And then we can do everything here to find out the exact cause. And by the way, I just want to announce today, I'm doing 72 hours water fast to clean everything. And then after the water fast, I'm going to go for colon irrigation with one of our colon irrigation, Dr. Raymond Dubash. And 72 hours, I invite everybody to try for even 24 hours, just no food. Okay. And if you must introduce food after this, go to plant-based, diet. And cut back on meat, cut back on crap, CRAP, carbonated beverage, refined food, processed food. And like people eat, my clients, most of the time they eat crap and they score very low on the wellness IQ. And no wonder they are sick and they're taking medications. The medication is only like a crutch. It's not the solution. We got to find the root cause. Yes. Why do you have high blood pressure? Maybe it's stress. Maybe, as Dr. Raman was saying, lack of deep belly breathing. Yeah. Could you guys believe 85% of my clients, 85%, they do not know how to breathe properly. 85% drink less water and more coffee and more soda and more commercial juice, which bring insulin, which bring diabetes, which bring obesity. But diabetes plus obesity called diabetes. That's the real pandemic right now. Wow. The obesity is the real. I'm sure Dr. Raman agree with me on this. This is what
I totally agree. Dr. You put it so clearly and so well. You know, most people, 70% of the people in North America eat the standard American diet.
Exactly.
It's a very sad diet, standard American diet. It's full of processed food, junk, GMO, pesticide, glyphosate, you cannot survive. That
No.
destroys your gut. And
Yes.
then they take all these medications and antibiotics. Your gut uses 70% of all the energy that you generate, that you take in, is used to digest the food.
Yes.
It's the biggest organ that uses the energy. So when Dr. George says fast,
Yes.
you give your body, your intestines, a rest.
Exactly.
You know, if you exercise for 2 hours, you need to rest.
Yes.
The same way, if you're eating all the time, eating, your body, your gut does not have time to regenerate.
Yes.
Okay? So whilst people, I haven't done a total water fast at all, but what I do, which I find very helpful, is have what we call intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is intermittent fasting? If you are eating 3 or 4 meals with snacks, you cut back to say just 3 meals and no snacks.
Or even
Then
two.
you cut back to 2 meals.
Yes. Or
a
even
day.
one.
And then to 1 if you want.
Yes.
But you give yourself a window.
Yes.
And what is the window of no food? From say 6 o'clock in the evening to about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And
That's
you
what actually
make
makes
your-
autophagy. Autophagy, when you do this for 16, 18 hours, the body goes through autophagy to clean,
clean up the
self-cleaning.
thing.
Exactly.
Autophagy means eating your own cells,
Exactly.
recycling the cells.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's a beautiful thing. So do intermittent fasting. You get into a regime.
Yes.
Now, Ayurveda says your prime time for your maximum meal is lunchtime
Okay.
because of the rhythms of the body. It's so important to follow the rhythms, natural rhythms.
So,
Nature.
Question. I'm sorry. So when you say your prime time, is that when you should have your heaviest meal? Is that
Yeah,
what you're
that's
saying?
right. Everything. Heaviest
And
meal
no
at
meals after
lunchtime,
7
light
p.m.
meal in the evening.
No late meals. You cannot eat meal at 8, 9 p.m. and go to bed at 10 p.m. You're gonna have indigestion. You're gonna have acid reflux.
Oh
And
yeah,
please,
you have.
if you have acid reflux or GERD, do not go to any physician because they're gonna put you on Nexium, Pentaloc, and they're gonna put you on cimetidine, ranitidine. These medications, by the way, has severe side effects. I'm a toxicologist. If somebody with MD degree listening to us on this call right now and want to argue with me on this, I have published 250 papers. I've written 20 books, and then you can go to Google or to PubMed or any other medical library, and you see the side effect of those. They call it PPI medication for acid reflux. In fact, it can affect the liver and the kidney. And who knows more about the kidney than our Dr. Rahman here? Okay, so if you take any medications before you take it, look at side effects. Look at the toxicology of it. If the risk exceeds the benefit, then you have to think twice about this. Because why would I take something that, okay, I'm going to recommend for you, if you want to follow me with the 72 water fast, you drink water with half a teaspoon of lemon, half a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar,
That's right.
and half a teaspoon of baking soda with no aluminum, natural Arm & Hammer baking soda, half a teaspoon of turmeric, which is the best anti-inflammatory in the world, turmeric, and half a teaspoon of ginger, and half a teaspoon of cinnamon. You put this all in 1 liter of water, and you drink it all day. Okay, well, this is, I think the only disadvantage here, it's very, very expensive to buy lemon, baking soda, apple cider vinegar. Very, very expensive, right, Dr. Rahman? Very expensive, right?
it's a beautiful drink. I start off my morning.
Drink. And I, you know what? If Daniela, if you give this to Papa, your Papa Bear, those kind of recommendations and get him the wellness IQ, I promise you, Dr. Rahman and I, with 45 years of experience, in his case, 55 plus years experience, my God, that's 100 years of professional experience here. We're going to help him at no cost. How's that?
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, gentlemen.
What Dr. Rahman was saying, what goes around comes around. The more you give, the more you receive.
I love that. You know, my God, this is blowing up. I think Facebook can't be giving me real numbers because this is really, the numbers are high. You really can't see them there. But I have another question. I have from Simone Rowe. Need to lose some weight. How to go about it? She goes, the best way. She goes, single mom, grieving mother, so much more. So she's obviously under stress. And as you said earlier, 85% of the stress causes more illness. So how would you answer that to Simone?
Simone, reach out to us, please. academyofwellness.com. You got my email there. You got my phone number there. I prefer email than phone number because I've got tons of clients every day during this era. I see clients, and then we can do virtual assessment. But before we do this, go to Wellness IQ and answer the 10 questions. Then we're gonna pinpoint the root cause of her stress. What is it? It could be as simple as not drinking enough fluids. It could be as simple as not doing the belly breathing, as Dr. Rahman was saying. So if 85% of our clients have shallow breathing, do not breathe properly, and then they have no water, they are dehydrated, like O2 and H2O are the most essential things that we need. If she's missing this, she can do it even before she reaches out to us. And she's going to see herself improving dramatically just by doing the water and the oxygen.
Awesome.
Okay. If not, reach out to us and we'll help you at no cost at all. I mean, our combined experience, it's worth at least $1,000 per hour. Seriously.
Yeah.
You can never find any doctor who get down to the root cause with all of this, especially Dr. Rahman with his wisdom, with his knowledge. I'm just basically a student. So basically,
no. You're full of wisdom as well. The one thing about
we're gonna help Simone. We're gonna help your dad, the Big Bear. We're gonna help everybody who reach out to us. You know what? Reach out to us, and we'll help them at no cost at all.
Thank you.
I
got 2 more minutes, and I'm sorry, gentlemen. I got 2 minutes.
Right.
And I want to honor some people, and then I'm gonna let you have the word, Dr. Rahman. But I've got I got Austin Haynes. He was repeating diobesity. He was repeating that.
Yes.
I've got I am so honored, Dr. George Grant, taking your assessment ASAP. I also got time to get rid of all that crap, and then they highlighted you there. Oh my God, processed foods are detrimental to our health and our children. They gave us diabetes years ago, and as a disease, sad, it's an understatement. I got Evangelista Batista. She says, it's sad that culturally breathing correctly, intentionally, is not taught or emphasized. So she was piggybacking on what you both were saying about the power of the breath. I also have, yes, there are various protocols of intermittent fast. I have one, too, that I love. And I'll share one here. I got Nancy Ruiz says, absolutely agree. Thanks for mentioning the plant-based and intermittent fasting, so important for a better health. I only drink water, no soda, no juice. The Western diet will slowly kill you.
Yes.
And there's more.
Very, very much true.
Yes.
Well, it's very important. Water is such a key element.
Yes.
Water, the municipal water that we drink is junk. It's recycled. It's what I call dead water. So one needs to have what we call structured water.
Yes.
Water that has gone through a vortex, natural spring water, like the water coming down the Himalayas. Water needs to be vortex structured, pure. If you have unstructured water, then the water molecules are clustered in clumps, 300-400 water molecule clustered.
That's good or bad?
Plastic
is
bad news.
Dr. Rahman is correct. Dr. Rahman is 100% correct. Plastic bottles, it has to be out. It has to be glass or stainless steel, because actually the water is a solvent. It will dissolve microplastic from your bottle, and then you drink it. And if the water, as Dr. Rahman was saying, has chlorine, it has fluoride, this is calcify the pineal gland.
Exactly.
It has to be filtered spring water, kept in a glass, kept in a stainless steel.
Beautiful.
I'm done with water today.
If you drink water, please drink it slowly, sip it, not gulp it. If you gulp the water quickly, in 20 minutes you're going to the bathroom to pee it.
Warm water.
Warm water.
Yep.
Very important. Not
Body
ice
temperature, yes.
cold water. Your
Yes.
gut doesn't like ice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Exactly.
And,
you know,
and
doctor,
you have to
question
have
for you.
sufficient water.
Okay.
You know, where there is a saying there was a song, water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink.
Wow, the
What-
doctor. So what do you recommend? Well, what do you recommend for me? Like what
drink,
can I buy?
drink,
Sell nothing but
Cut.
plastic.
read up about structured water.
Yes.
And there are devices available that you can structure your water.
Yes.
And don't drink tap water, which is full of poisons.
Yes.
That's
So can I
important.
buy a device? So because after what you're saying, I'm gonna get rid of the water here. So what's my next logical step? Am I supposed to buy a filter?
Well, filtering is important, but when you have a device that structures water, you see, water is an amazing substance. It's amazing. It holds memory.
Yes.
Okay.
You have to clear the memory from the water. So if it's been in touch with junk, it holds that memory.
Wow.
And it impacts that memory energy into you.
100%. I agree. Actually, Dr. Emoto in Japan did the same thing as Dr. Raman was saying.
Absolutely.
And he found difference when you're happy, when you tell the water that you're happy, the structure is different. When you're angry or sad, the water has memory, it will actually shrink. So we have to treat our body like you met some people with high vibration, you met some people with low vibration. Water has the same thing. Low vibration, high vibration. I do have structured water based on Dr. Raman's recommendations. I structure my water, I filter it, I keep it in a glass or stainless steel. Very important to follow this, guys. And Dr. Emoto, you can read his research. He's one of the top water experts in the world. And there's no question about that. And he showed that water can actually change the structure to be from octagon to hexagon.
Yes.
Yes, this is what we need. This is what we need to learn.
The science is so advanced now, and it reinforces all what we've been saying, reinforces the ancient wisdom that was imparted 5,000-10,000 years ago in all denominations and religious and cultures.
Yes.
So it's important to marry, and that's what Dr. George and I do. We have to marry the ancient wisdom with modern science.
Exactly.
And you know, science is now the language of modern mysticism.
Yes.
So you have to use that. And we have, I mean, like structured water.
Yeah.
You know, I've done research in my clinical thing about water transport in and out of cells.
Yes.
Aquaporin channels. And all these things, and how, you know, the water in our body is structured. They call it the fourth phase of water. Now, what does that mean? So we have ice, we have liquid water, we have steam. But the body water in our body is not ice, water, or steam. It's called fourth phase. It's colloidal. It's like a gel. You know, if you take a piece of muscle and you squeeze it, you don't get 75% of that content coming out as water. It doesn't. Even though we say that 3/4 of our body is made of water.
Yes.
You squeeze muscle and you get a little bit of something coming out. It means the water is like jello in the body, in the cells. And it's important that the cells are hydrated. And that's what I mean by when I say water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink.
I get it.
You know, the water, you're drinking it. If you drink junk, the body is still starved. If you eat junk food, the body is starved. It's craving for more. It's craving for good stuff.
100%.
It wants good stuff. So if you keep on eating junk, keep on eating junk.
Exactly.
The body says, no, we need good food.
Yes.
And what does it do with the junk food? It packages it away into fat cells because it doesn't know how to deal with it, all the poison. That's why you get fat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely correct. You know, in some countries like the Hunza, they
Yeah.
drink water coming from the mountain. Now,
Yeah.
when the water comes from a mountain, it's already structured because it goes through rocks, right?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
They found that people to live 111, 112. And guess what? They have some women, they get pregnant at 70, 75. How in the world women in North America at 55 to 65, they go into a menopause? You know what I mean? Menopause, right? Okay.
Menopause.
But women in the Hunza at 75, they still can carry a child. So their cells are healthy, tissues are healthy, organs are healthy, or systems are healthy. Because what Dr. Rahman was saying, there's no sad diet there. There's no standard American diet. There's no bacon, and there's no sausage, and there's no soda. They eat from the ground, plant-based diet from the ground. And they drink the water, which is structured water, alkaline water. And that's why they live longer, they live healthier. So you know what? It's not rocket science here, guys. You don't have to go to get 3 doctors to understand this. Just common sense, which is totally uncommon for people.
You know that we're so blessed. I definitely want to keep this conversation. I'm so glad I didn't do this today like I normally do it on the boardwalk, because I've gotten so much. I've got like 2 or 3 pages of notes. Can we go ahead and because I know the audience has more questions, so I encourage you both. I would like you to leave with the best way people can get a hold of you, Dr. Rahman. How can people get a hold of you, Dr. Grant? I already have your scroll. And can we get a promise that we can have you back
Yes.
shortly?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yes.
you. I'd like to
Dr.
close
George.
out with last thing.
Dr.
It's just
George is the
1,000
content.
US each, because that's what we charge for 5 minutes. But for you, Daniela and Emilio, because you're a veteran, 0 cost to you and anybody you want to consult with. Seriously,
Thank you
we
so
want to
much.
help you
Thank
here
you.
because we are both caring people and we want to help the world to live healthier in these difficult times. And I want to leave you with my 5 L's. Live healthy, love unconditionally, learn as much as you can during your lifetime until your last breath. So live, love, learn, let go of fear, and then leave a legacy to future generations. Because without the science called epigenetics, I would not be here today. Epigenetics determine whether you turn on your genes on or off. So even if you have bad genes like me from parents, grandparents, and grandparents, the science epigenetics tell you that there's a chance that you can live to 101. And any person listening and to us right now, complete the Wellness IQ. I'll send you a complimentary ebook, How to Live Healthy and Sexy to 101. So, Emilio, you're going to have all of the sex in your life at age 101. No Viagra, no
Hey,
Cialis,
you're my favorite kind of doctor. That's what the doctor ordered, right?
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
with you, man. I'm with you. Hey, I'm gonna have to put you on my regular budget. So, Dr. Rahman, how can people get a hold of you to access your wisdom?
Well, I think the best way to do that is through Dr. George.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's
because
part of the Academy
I
of
don't
Wellness.
have websites or anything.
Yes.
I'm just a simple, humble human being. I don't like technology
I'm with you.
because EMF is bad news.
EMF, yes. I'd
Yes.
love to talk to you about that. I'm a big fan of researching EMF, keeping the cell phone away because they
Yes.
affect migraines. My wife has, so I'd love to have that conversation with you, Doc.
Well, no problem. It's all about frequency. The whole
Yes.
life
Yes.
existence is frequency,
Yes.
and the energy comes from source. And we are part of the source. And I just want to leave you with an analogy. A drop of water was asked, can you describe what the ocean is about? And the drop of water says, oh, well, it's deep, it's blue, it's this, that, and the other. But you can never get the entirety of the concept of what the ocean is until you put yourself in the ocean. Then you become the ocean. Okay? So the entirety of who we are is that whilst we are drops of ocean,
Right.
we are also the ocean.
Right. We're broad.
We are everything.
Yes.
That's the essence of living. And if you live that way, then you know that you are living in terms of your true essence of who you are, but you are also living in this three-dimensional state because you have to live, you have to earn, you have to eat and drink.
God bless you. God bless you.
That's
You know
the
what?
essence.
Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless
Thank you, both of you.
Thank you.
Listen, everyone, please connect with Doctor. We have to end the broadcast now. We're over. But man, love you guys. And we're going to connect for sure. Gracias.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you so much.